Leia's a pressed hoe. I mean, she's just pressed, just like my boy Spencer Gray. She's pressed. Just pretend this movie didn't fucking happen. It's fucking trash. What's up, kings, queens, and everyone in between? Happy Star Wars Day. We're back for another one. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I had one I kind of wanted to do, but after I recorded it, it didn't really turn out as well as I would have liked. You know, you can kind of see I'm in some new digs. Me and my fiance moved back in October. Been kind of a mess getting everything straight, but I couldn't miss Star Wars Day. Couldn't miss a chance. Do my thing with the next movie in the trilogy, Empire Strikes Back. So here we go. Let's get this going. Empire Strikes Back. So it starts out. Remember at the end of Star Wars, Luke blew up the Death Star. They screwed Chewbacca over, didn't give him his medal. You know, Han's a hero. You know, everybody's like, hey, yeah, we're gonna beat the Empire. But it didn't mean shit because the Empire is still fucking all powerful, still strong as hell, still going around fucking everybody's shit up. So our heroes now live on a fucking ice planet. I mean, I'm talking like Antarctica, and except there's like living creatures there that aren't fucking penguins. You know, but so they're in this little ice base. Luke's flying around doing patrol. Actually, he's on a tauntaun. There's like a fucking dinosaur bird horse thing. And, you know, he's out doing the security sweep. And all of a sudden, some big Yeti motherfucker just BAM! Knocks the shit out of him and takes him in a cave. Han's like, oh man, he's in the base. Like, anybody heard from Luke? And everybody's like, no, man. I mean, I think he was in the back. And Han's like, well, it's freezing outside. Don't you think we should go check? And they're all like, well, yeah, I guess, but who are you? He's like, I'm Han motherfucking Solo. And they're like, okay. And then Leia walks up and she's like, hey, what's up, Han? And he's like, yo, I'm leaving. And they're like, why? Oh, there's a bounty on me. He's like, but you belong here. And he's like, bitch, I got a bounty on me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just Jabba the Hutt's trying to kill me, and you guys didn't give me a reward after I saved your ass from the Death Star, and then came back and blew it up. All I got was a fucking medal. Chewie got screwed over. He's still hanging out in the back growling, and you're all like, oh, why are you leaving, man? You know you love me. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's like, listen, if you want, we can go hop on the Millennium Falcon, and we can join the Lightyear Club. He's like, I'd rather kiss a Wookiee. And he's like, hey, I can make that work. I'm down for that. Chewie's down for that. He's got a life debt with me. It's all good. And she says, nah, you're a scruffy nerf herder. And he's like, well, I'm not scruffy. And, you know, whatever. It goes on. He's like, I'm going to go find Luke. And he goes out and he finds, you know, he's looking for Luke. He's on his little horse dinosaur thing. Luke's in a cave with the Yeti thing. I don't even remember what the fuck they called the thing, but it's just, he ate Luke's dinosaur bird. And now he's like got Luke hanging up like a slab of meat, and Luke's like, well, I got the Force, bitch. And he uses the Force and grabs his lightsaber. He's like, bitch, I got a lightsaber! Cuts off the Yeti's arm. And then Luke's all dying out in the cold, and then Obi-Wan, who's turned into a ghost, you know, literally ghosted Luke in the last movie, is like, hey, Luke, man, I got your messages. I'm calling you back. You need to go to the Dagobah system and talk to Yoda. And Luke's like, what? Dude, I'm freezing to death. Can't you, like, I don't know, use the Force to help me? And then he's like, no, I'm ghosting you again. Poof. Then Han shows up, and Han's like, Luke, old buddy, what's the matter? And Luke's like, Dagobah, man. And Han's like, dude, I don't know what the fuck this has to do with you freezing to death. And then Han's dinosaur dies, so Han cuts him open with Luke's lightsaber. And he's like, bitch, I got a lightsaber! Cuts him open. And, you know, puts Luke inside the dead dinosaurs. Like, yeah, they stink on the outside too, but you know what? At least you're not going to freeze to death. And Luke's not bitching because he's, you know, dying. So then Han sets up the tent the next day. Rogue One squadron's looking. And they're like, Captain Solo, Captain Skywalker, and then Han's like, oh, I'm glad you guys finally found us, considering we're fucking freezing to death. But, you know, they go, they save Luke, put him in a giant fucking tub, and I don't know, it's a hot tub for his whole body with a mask. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. I don't understand science from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So they heal Han up, or they heal Luke up, and then they find a probe from the Empire. And they don't know that at the time. Han goes out and he shoots it and it blows up. And they're like, oh, the Empire knows we're here. And they're like, well, we gotta fucking evacuate. And it's like, okay. So as they're doing that, here comes the Empire with Vader. Vader's like, oh, we gotta go find that motherfucker Luke. He blew up the whole Death Star and left me stranded in space and shit. Everybody's like, okay, I mean, well, whatever your reasoning is for this one little whiny bitch from Tattooine who, you know, you already killed his aunt and uncle. I think him coming at you was kind of fair. And then Vader choked somebody to death. You know, he's Vader or whatever. So, you know, they go down there. They bring these giant, like, four-legged things called AT-ATs, AT-ATs. I don't know how to say it. Either way, they're walking and, like, of course, the rebels somehow managed to blow up a Death Star, but still can't fucking fight anything the Empire has. So they're shooting it. Like, that's not going to do any good. Let's shoot these things with tow hooks. So they start shooting them with tow hooks, wrapping their arms up. Luke's magically healed. He climbs up one. He's like, bitch, I got a lightsaber. And he's cutting the thing. He drops a grenade in, falls back down. Boom, everybody, you know, is starting to escape. Luke hops in his little, you know, shuttle. He's got R2-D2. He's like, I'm going to Dagobah. Peace. And then Leia's like, oh, I'm not going to make my ship. And Han's like, yeah, now you get to ride on my ship. You know what I'm saying? She's like, fine, I'll go. And here's Chewie. They're trying to fix the hyperdrive. You know, they take C-3PO, who's just going to whine the whole fucking time. But it's going to work. It's going to be great because, you know, the way movies work. And C-3PO is like, oh, we're all going to die. And Han's like, shut up and fix the thing. You're a robot. And he's like, I'm a protocol droid. And C-3PO is like, I'm just going to bitch the whole time. And Han's like, okay, fine, Leia, get on there. You like me, I'm sexy, we got chemistry. And she's like, okay, but we don't. You're a jerk. And she gets on the ship. Now we're going. Han's flying. Empire's chasing him. Han's like, Boba Fett for the first time, and he's like in a green hat, and he doesn't say anything. He looks kind of cool, but you know, it's basically all he does throughout the fucking movie. So I don't even know why he turned into the character he turned into, but whatever. Neither here nor there. So then we cut back to Luke, who goes to this shitty swamp planet, crashes his ship. He's like, well, we gotta find Yoda, and he gets out and he's setting up a camp, and then this little green gremlin thing comes in and starts eating Luke's food, and Luke gets all upset with him. He's like, dude, don't eat my food. And he's like, I can eat your food if I want to. And he's like, whatever, you little shit. I'm just going to leave you alone. Just whatever. You just stay over there. I'll stay over here. It's my camp. I hate this planet. It sucks. Man, I'm just trying to find Yoda. And the gremlin's like, well, I don't know where Yoda is. And Luke's like, oh, cool. Why don't you take me to him? He's like, okay. You know, and then Luke says, R2-D2, watch the camp. Like the robot that has no weaponry is going to be able to actually protect the camp from anything. So Luke goes and he goes with the little gremlin. He goes in his little shelter and like the gremlin gives him some food. And Luke gets all mad about the food. He's like, your food fucking sucks, dude. And then the gremlin's like, yo, Obi-Wan, I can't train this dude. And like Obi-Wan's like, yes, you can. Luke goes, what? Ben? This is Yoda? It's like, yeah, you dipshit. Didn't you learn you shouldn't treat someone like shit? You shouldn't judge them by their size and how they look. Asshole, you were the little whiny bitch from Tattooine that everybody judged. And then, oh, now you're the hero of the fucking galaxy. You think you're better than everybody? No, you're not. You're just a little bitch trying to be your dad. You didn't even know your dad. He's dead. And you're just going to have to accept that that's not foreshadowing for what's going to happen later in the movie. So then we cut back to Han and Leia, and they're down in this cave, and it's like they're sitting there, they're arguing, and then all of a sudden it's like the ship kind of shakes, and they're like, oh, what's going on? And then Han's like, well, I don't know, I'll go see. And there's fucking Minox on the ship, which are like pterodactyl birds. And Han shoots with a blaster, and all of a sudden the thing starts shaking again. And Han's like, oh shit, and he shoots the side of the cave, and everything starts going bonkers again, and Han's like, get on the ship, and everybody's like, no, we're gonna argue about this now. He's like, no, you need to get on the ship. And everybody's like, no, let's stand there and argue. And Han's like, no, I'm fucking flying us out of here. And then they're like, what are you doing? We're gonna die. Han's like, shut up, we're gonna die if we stay. And they're flying out, and you see the cave closing like this, and then they're like, oh my god, the cave is closing. And Han's like, no, it's not a cave, you dumbasses. This is what I was trying to say. Let's get out of here. So they fly out, and all of a sudden the Empire's waiting for him, and it's going crazy. Han gets this brilliant plan. He's gonna fight the Empire ship. He flies right at it, and they're like, oh my god, this guy's crazy. And then he disappears off the scanners. So what he actually does is he parks on the ship, and he basically is waiting on them to fly off, because the standard procedure before they jump into hyperspace is they dump their garbage. So when they dump their garbage, he's gonna go float off ship and just kind of passes the garbage. Well, the bounty hunter, Boba Fett, was onto that plan. Somehow he figured this out, and he's waiting for him. Then we cut back to Luke, who's training with Yoda, and he's jumping, and he's climbing on ropes and shit. And then, like, they come to this, this tree, and there's an opening, and Yoda says, go ahead and go in there. He's like, you can leave your weapons, though. And Luke's like, nah, I'm going to take my weapons. I'm not going to listen to the trained Jedi who literally taught the guy who was training me. Nah, I'm not going to listen to you. You're like, that tall. Like, I could carry you in my backpack. And Yoda's like, all right, whatever. So Luke goes in there, and Vader's there, and Luke's like, bitch, I got a lightsaber, and cuts off Vader's head, and then Luke's head is in the helmet. It was the dark side in there, just messing with Luke's head. It was showing him the darkness in his heart. And Luke just cannot figure out, listen to the little green guy. Still not figuring this out. Go out, there's some more training, and now Luke is lifting rocks and shit. And, he's like, okay, well, my ship is stuck, and his ship starts falling while he's training, and he starts pouting, and Yoda's like, well, just use the Force and get it out. And Luke's like, oh man, I can do rocks and stuff, but a big ship like that's completely different. And Yoda's like, dude, it's mind powers. Like, you're using your mind to move something. You're an idiot if you think that there's any difference in using your mind to move a rock versus move anything. You just do it. That's where the fucking Nike came from, okay? They was just like, do or do not, there's no try. Nike couldn't fit that on their logo, so they said, okay, just do it. So, whatever. Luke tries, he fails, and he's like, man, you want the impossible. And then Yoda's like, watch this, bitch. Lifts this whole ship up. This cool music playing, sits it down. Luke goes, I can't believe it. And Yoda says, that's why you fail. Boom. Now go back to Han. Oh, they're escaping. But then he looks, he's trying to find a place that's not friendly to the Empire. They can crash, they can hang out, whatever they need to do. And they come across this planet. I can't remember what it's called, but it's run by a guy called Lando Calrissian, who Han knows, and Han says, yeah, we can't trust him, but he hates the Empire. So they go there, and it's, Billy D. Williams is like, he's there, and he's just, hey, you brought a woman with you. What's up, Leia? And she's like, I don't date black guys. And it's like, what the hell is this about, man? I mean, just obviously Leia just has a thing for Han. I don't know why she won't, what she got against Billy D. Williams. I would date Billy D. Williams, in his prime. I'd still date him today. Dude's a man. Give me a cold 45 on that. But anyways, Leia's a pressed hoe. She's just pressed. Just like my boy Spencer Gray. She's pressed. So, they go in, whatever. Something shifty's fucking going on in this place in the clouds. And Billy D. Williams, he's dropping every pickup line he can on Leia. Nothing's working. C-3PO wanders around, finds some Empire guards. They trash his shit. And, everybody knows something is funky's going on, but nobody really knows what. So, turns out the Empire's there. They had a plan. They got there before Han and Leia. Because of Boba Fett, obviously, letting them know. And Vader's there for dinner. He's like, hey, come on, join me, have a seat. And Han tries to shoot him, and Vader's like, no, I got the Force, bitch. Takes his gun, and, they wind up capturing him. And so then it cuts back to Luke, who's training with Yoda some more. And he sees his friends, like he's got the Force flowing through him. and his friends are in danger. And Yoda's like, nah, man, you just got to put that out of your mind. Like, you got to train. And Luke's like, okay, I'm going to try and listen this time, because every time I haven't listened to you, it hasn't gone well. Then it cuts back to Han and Leia. And, you know, basically they're going to freeze Han in this carbonite thing. You know, but they're doing it to test if they can do it with Luke. It's a whole, like, we're going to give this guy to Jabba the Hutt because Jabba's got a bounty on him. If we accidentally kill him, don't worry, Boba Fett. We'll pay you your money, dude. Just let us do our thing. You know, it's cool. And, like, Lando's like, yeah, I mean, we're friends, but I don't like the guy that much, you know. And now his woman's hoping, you know, maybe I got a shot. And Leia's like, nah. And Chewie's like, bitch, I'll choke you to death. Raw! I didn't get a medal, and you're not going to supplant me, you know. And Chewie's choking him, and then he's like, we can still, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they, you know, it all goes to hell. Luke, you know, has another vision. He's like, oh, shit, I got to go. I got to go back there. And Yoda's like, dude, I'm telling you, Vader's going to wreck your shit. And Obi-Wan shows up. He's like, as a ghost, he's like, yeah, man, Vader will wreck your shit. And Luke's like, but they're my friends. Like, Vader will wreck all of your shit. It doesn't matter if they're your friends. You want to beat Vader? Stay here. Do you like your friends? Yeah? Okay. Then they're going to die anyways because Vader's the boss, all right? Did you not play the new Jedi game on, you know, that came out recently? Vader says, just run away. You can't beat him. Vader's basically survival horror now whenever you see Vader. That's what Vader is. Don't F with that guy. Luke's like, no. I got this. Cuts in. They freeze Han. Han's, you know, stuck in this giant block of carbonite. Basically, I don't know if it's a real substance or not. I'm not a chemist. Or I don't know my periodic table. Whatever. Anyways, so it's basically a block of ice. So Han's like he got stuck doing a mine box. So, you know, Luke shows up and like Lando, who's pissed off because Vader keeps changing the deal. Because first it was, all right, fine, you guys can have Han, but you got to leave Leia and Chewie here. And then Vader's like, nah, we're the Empire. We'll change the deal whenever the hell we want. So we're taking Leia and the Wookiee. And he's like, this deal sucks. And Vader's like, bitch, I choke motherfuckers that work for me every day. You think I won't choke you out on your own fucking planet just to make an example of you? And Lando's like, I bet. Then Lando, you know, pulls a whole switcheroo. They free Chewie, they free Leia. And he's trying to tell him, he's like, look, man, they just want to get Luke, this guy, Luke Skywalker. They don't even really actually care about you. And Leia's like, yo, that's my friend, man. You screwed over one of my friends already. You know, who I couldn't even tell. Like, I told him I loved him, and he was like, I know. Didn't even say it back. Like, total player move on me. And he's like, yeah, I know. It was like, I thought I was smooth. But that shit Han pulled was pretty good. But we still can save him because he's going to be on that deck. And they go to save him. And Boba Fett's like, nah, bitch. And they're like, ah, fuck. And it cuts to Luke, who's, you know, he's trying to get, trying to find Han, trying to find his friends. They basically get him down in the same room they froze Han in. Vader pulls out his lightsaber, and Luke's like, oh, you want to fight with lightsaber? You know, and they're having a measuring contest, and they're just swinging their sticks around. And Vader, you know, gets Luke to fall into the pit where the ice carbonite thing is. And then he uses the Force, takes his eyes off of Luke to turn the thing on with his, Force powers. Luke jumps out. They get into a full-on fight. And then, like, they're fighting. Luke kind of runs away. Vader tracks him. They get, they're still going. Luke manages to tag Vader on the arm. And Vader's like, all right, I ain't playing around no more. Just starts throwing the entire fucking building at Luke. Because remember, Luke, who couldn't even get the ship out of the ground, Vader's like, man, that's nothing. What Yoda did, nothing. Just throwing everything. And then Vader cuts off Luke's hand. Luke loses lightsaber. Jumps onto this thing, and then Vader's like, Obi-Wan didn't tell you what happened to your dad, did he? And Luke's like, yeah, he told me you killed him. Vader goes, no, I'm your father. And Luke's like, no, like he was calling a soccer game, and a goal got scored, but he was upset. So then he jumps, he falls down this hole. It's basically like given, it signifies rebirth. Falls out. First he's like, "Oh, Ben, why didn't you tell me, you son of a bitch?" And then he's like, "I'm gonna die," because he's outside hanging off of this, TV antenna. And then he's like, "Oh, I got an idea. Leia." And then Leia's like, "We gotta go back." And then they go back. They get Luke. He falls down the ship. They realize, damn, this whole movie was just us screwing the pooch in every single way. So good thing this is a trilogy, because we're going to have to fix this in the next one. Because Han's frozen. He's going to Jabba the Hutt. Luke has a new robot hand. And he's basically turning into his dad, who's all robot now, Vader. And Leia is, I don't know, she's still a princess, but her planet got blown up. So I don't even know why they're still calling her princess this whole movie. But it's what it is. And basically, this is the only movie you'll find in the Disney library that probably doesn't have a happy ending. So, anyways, happy Star Wars Day!